Hey guys, Alpha from Alpha Animations. This will be part 3 of my rigging tutorial. I have done a little bit of this off camera, like all of the weight painting, because, well, I'm actually not that good at weight painting and like getting something to look right. Like I can get that to kinda resemble a smile, but other than that, nah, not really. Now you may have noticed all of the interpopulation has gone from the textures, and that's because a friend kindly showed me a trick in the user preferences. You just go to System and turn off the bitmaps, and yeah, that'll completely get rid of it. I don't know why I never heard of it before, but anyway, that will fix your textures. And also the texture on the body was inverted, so it was the wrong way around, like the right was on the left. Yeah, anyway, I flipped that. I don't think I need to show you how to do that, but yeah, I'll just show you what I've done with the weight painting at the moment, because I guess you might want to know. Like, I've put one weight there, 0.75 and 0.25, and I just did that by setting the variables and going into loop select mode, and I've got and I have an entire loop selected around here so that I don't get any weight on anything else. I normally just do that sort of thing to tidy it up. But anyway, let's move on to the lattice. Now to do this, you're going to add a vertex group, call it lattice, and then assign all of these vertexes to it. So you're actually going to want to do this in edit mode. So you'll just add, assign, and then double click to rename. And I've already done this because this is my second time recording this, because I had a huge fail in the first one, so I thought I'd re-record. But yeah, that's the only thing I've actually already done. Oh no, I have got a lattice parented. Well, we'll get rid of that, and then we'll shift add a lattice. That's going to appear down there, which is a pity. I'll just have to clear all those. Now, if we pull it up to about there, scale in, and try and put it about dead center to the middle, to the mouth, then we scale it on the Z to 0.1 and scale it on the X to 0.4, then it's going to relatively match our things. Though we'll have to get rid of, set that to 3 on the U, set the V to 1 because it's too thick otherwise, and leave the W at 2. Then just move it out to where the mouth is, so we can actually see what we're working with. And then we're going to call this head. That's not spelled right. Yeah. Head lat. Because we've already got something called head. It's interesting that this one changed its name instead of that one. Possibly the lattice and the objects update on different ticks of the site. Never mind. Well, I'm just thinking that in the code of Blender, the lattices will update before the objects. So when they're he realised lattice had the same head. Lattice had updated first, so it was the object that changed, because it was the second one to update. Yeah, I know that's complicated, but anyway. What we need to do now is we need to tab into edit mode. No, actually we want to tab out. We want to grab one of these, then we want to tab into edit mode. And that way we can go control hook, and it'll hook to selected object bone. Now we're going to do this 6 times. Let's see how many we've got. 4. Yep, that's 6. Now we're going to name each of these. This one can be north, west, north, northeast, and then this one can be south, southwest, south, southeast. Now we're going to do this because then all we got to do is change smile to south, north east, and then we can just grab that one because that will be the north. Keep mixing it up. It's the northwest. Then we can just it's one of these two, so we'll just do them both. Don't think it'll matter much. And then assign that. Actually, why don't we turn on all of that so we can view what we're doing in edit mode, and now you'll probably see why we need to reassign it, because when you do that, boom, it jumps up like that, and you're going to want to yep, that one. You're going to want to assign that one and then reset. The reset's going to reset your hook so that the hook is centered around the bone, and assigning will just assign whatever vertexes you have selected to your bone. So if we change this one to northeast, reset it, assign, then that one's also going to work. And yeah, we can just go through and do all of these the same way. Well, let's see, if we're doing southwest, we need to grab this one. We need to reset, assign, and grab this one. Well, this one's already done because that was the one we created all these hooks with. Then we can reset and assign this one. Now we should be able to go into pose mode and deform all of the lattice. Now you're going to see that all of our weight paint is deforming at the moment, so we can't have lattice and weight paint deforming at the same time, because otherwise it's going to double deform effect and the whole mouth is going to kind of pull out. I'll show you what I mean in a sec. We'll just grab this, grab the lattice, control parent, lattice deform, then if we go into no, we don't want to do that, because then that changes it from that parenting. We actually just want to go add a modifier for lattice, set it to head lattice, And then we've got to set the vertex group to that lattice group we made. That's very important because otherwise it's going to try and deform the whole head and not just the mouth. I think I can probably show you now. See? And that's not looking too intelligent, is it? Although, I guess you might want that effect, so you're free to create it at your own will. Yeah, and that vertex group basically just limits it to only these vertexes around the mouth. Let's see, what was the next step? Oh, right, showing you how it's going to mess up. Yeah, when you try rotating this bone, it's going to double the weight and try and pull the mouth down double as far. So, yeah, we can't use the weight paint and the mouth at the same time. So, I guess we're going to have to start on our control board. So if we just, I don't know, put the 3D cursor up there, Shift add a plane, Shift S, selection to grid, rotate it, scale it to, I don't know, I haven't actually made a control board before because I've never used one in my rigs. You know my friend, the one I mentioned earlier, the one who told me the trick about turning off the interpopulation? I seriously think he ought to be doing these tutorials because he's far more qualified in this than me. Like, I'm okay at it, but I'm not great. So let's see. Alright, we need to add a Control Z. A second armature, and well, we'll just pop it onto the grid first. Call this one controller, and we will parent board control parent empty groups. Now I found out something about this. We'll just set the parent at the moment to armature because it keeps moving around and I don't know, that's annoying. Okay, but now we can basically see, no, we're going to turn the display on these bones to B-bone, so box bone. Then we're going to pull it down, down, over to here. And we're going to grab the bone, put it about in the middle of our controls. And then an object, we're going to go into display and turn it to wire. Then we kind of got our, well, buttony thing. I think it's a little bit long still, so we'll just fix that now. Now, obviously the buttons and the sliders are normally bigger, so you're going to push Control-Alt-S to make it larger and scale it to like 1.8. And the reason we're going to use B-bones is that way it saves us making drivers. Oh, no, hang on. That slider looks way too big. I think perhaps we need to scale it to 0.5 and then scale the bone down as well, because this definitely looks way too big. So again, Control-Alt scale, about 0.5 might be reasonable. Yeah, that looks a bit more reasonable in size, I mean. And yep, you can just center it around wherever you want. that is going to be our controller. We'll rename the bone to, let's see, what are we controlling? We're controlling the mouth type. Now, you guys don't need to have a controller on your rig to switch between weight pane and lattice, but I suggest you choose one or the other. So, if you're going to do a lattice mouth, then you're going to want to untick the deform on all of these, which is essentially how our driver is going to work. We're going to add a driver and it's going to untick all the deforms. And sorry, I got my mouse caught on something. And the driver for... No. Well, how about we just make the driver for now? It'll be Graph Editor. Ugh. Why am I not seeing our driver? Because I haven't selected the right thing, have I? No, I have. Psst. This is weird. Huh. Okay. Well, I've never tried putting a driver on here, I just assumed it would be possible. Oh, right, it's still on F-curve. I haven't changed it to drivers yet. That's why it was looking weird. So, we're going to use the transformation channel of that bone. So, we'll select controller, mouth type, and local space. We always do that because then it won't, because then it'll measure the offset, otherwise it won't. Local tab, let's see, it'll be the Z. Tab back out, grab that bone there, and Z location. Now we'll just set this to variable, and at the moment it is false. Then we'll just copy this driver. Hang on. Assuming you can get this to work. No, deform's still not on. So it'll need to be something like 7.5 minus variable. No, because the variable's not large enough. Minus 4 variable. So, yeah, this is a bit of a complicated expression, but anyway, what we need to happen is when the driver comes up, we need it to be above 1, and when it is back in its original position, we need it to be essentially below it. So I think about as far as we're going to want to. Yeah, we better limit all the locations and stuff right now. So if we go bone constraints, limit location, was the z-axis we were moving it on, change it back to local space. Apparently we're moving it in the negative direction, so negative 0.12. Oh, that'll be too big. Negative 0.1. Nope. Negative 3. Try 2.5. Yep. No. 2.4. Yeah, that looks right. Then we can... Just gonna scale this down a wee bit more. Nah, better not. We could scale it on the X a bit, because it looks a bit goofy at the moment. So, here is our driver. Our bone is at the moment deform off. Deform on. We'll just get rid of the deform on all of these bones, because I don't think we're going to want them actually deforming anything. And yeah, now that we got the driver working, we can copy driver and paste it onto all of the other mouth bones. Paste driver, paste driver, paste driver, you know, etc. until we get it done. I kind of hate repetitive tasks, but then again, they gotta get done. Okay. Now, last thing we're going to want to do is paste the same driver onto, here, and then we're going to have to invert this driver, because at the moment it's turned all of the deform on, whereas on the head it has also turned the lattice. Yeah, well, it's also turned lattice on. But we don't want it to do that. We want the driver to work in reverse. Yeah, I exited the driver things too early. But anyway, all we gotta do for that is make this more like 1.1 plus variable, because remember our variable's negative. So now it should be doing something reasonable, and when we move these bones around, it is weight paint deformed, and when we move them around now, it is lattice deformed. You can tell that because the bottom vertex there wouldn't be moving if this was weight paint deformed. So yeah, I guess that concludes my tutorial. I don't think any of you will want a lattice and weight paint mouth, but I find it kind of useful because when deforming with lattices, if I get all of these bones, so they're in the so they're in the exact same position. We'll just do scale Z 0, then we'll just push Alt scale to pop them back up to their original size. Then the mouth isn't going to close completely. You actually have to go beyond medium point with this to get the mouth to close completely, and when you do, these vertexes tend to cross over one another, like only slightly, but if I do this and get the mouth lined up but the vertex is crossing over, and when you go into rendered, hang on, we'll let it catch up, you're going to get this goofy line across here. Not sure if you can see that, but there's actually a bit of texture mess up when I do it that way. So yeah, we now have a driver to switch the two. And then when we switch them back to here, all of our buttons are going to be messed up. But yeah. Actually, I wonder if we're going to get the lattice. Oh, why isn't that moving? Yeah, whatever. Oh, G. Oh, that's why, because I moved it too far last time. Now, I wonder if we can get both the lattice and the object to deform. Oh, that's interesting. Neither of them deforms when we're in the middle. Okay, so note to yourselves, you're going to want it at the top or the bottom, not in the middle, because nothing happens in the middle. So, yeah, that concludes my tutorial. See you guys next time.